welcome to livealittlehigher.com. This week's Torah portion, Korach, talks about Moses' first cousin and Aaron HaKohen's first cousin, and he had a problem with them. His problem was that he concluded that all Jews are equally valuable and that there is no need for a high priest or leadership. And he voiced against the whole institution of the priesthood, but at the same time he wanted to gain it for himself. And he was seeking to be the high priest. In Proverbs it says, "The name of the wicked shall rot," and the Talmud states that their name shall decay, for we don't mention the wicked by name. We're very careful not to mention wicked people by name. And we see that this parashah is named after a very wicked person who was Korach. So why is this? This is because his intention could have been a holy intention. When a person is envious about somebody else, he wants what somebody else has. So in theory, Korach wanted to be like a high priest. He wanted to be like Aaron HaKohen. And there's nothing wrong with that. When you see a person that is in a very high spiritual state and you want to be like that, the feeling of the envy of wanting to be like a certain person propels you to work hard on yourself and to be able to get to that place. So it's not a negative thing. The problem with Korach was that his envy became jealousy. Envy is that somebody has something you want, but you don't care if that person has it too. Jealousy is when another person has what you want, but you also don't want that person to have it. And that was Korach. And the Rambam says, the Torah was given to make peace in the world. So we see here that Korach, the last thing he wanted to create was peace. His intention was a complete different intention. He wanted to create divisiveness. He wanted people to fight amongst themselves. He brought discord amongst the people. He gathered all the princes of every tribe and the people from the Sanhedrin and the highest people in the community to come and revolt with him and create a rebellion against Moshe and Aaron HaKohen. And this is what the Torah forbids. This is what is so not well seen. And he resented Aaron because the business of Aaron was to light the menorah in the tabernacle, in the Mishkan. And the work of Aaron was to bring light into the world. His whole job was to ignite the fire in each and every Jew and to inspire every Jew to be the best they could be. Aaron understood the mission of the Jew. He understood that Hashem created the people differently. Not everybody was the same. Everybody had different capacities. Everybody had different IQs. Every person had different things that they could do better than others. So he understood that his job in this world was to ignite that part of every Jew that was good in them, that was their potential for them to come and serve Hashem in this world. But not everybody comes to serve in the same way. It's like if you look at your body, you have your brain, you have your toenail, and both are part of your body. Which one is better? We don't know. The brain is important for a certain purpose, but the toenail is also important for another purpose. So when the whole body is working together in harmony and each part of the body is doing their job, then the whole body is balanced. But when the brain is doing the job of the feet, it's a disaster. The brain cannot walk you down the street. The feet cannot think for you. So each part of your body is designed for a different purpose. And this is what we have to understand as a whole, as a Jewish people. We have to understand that each one of us has a distinct purpose. And the purpose of the Kohen Gadol was not the purpose of Korach. Korach had a complete different purpose in his life. He was a very well-learned person. He was very intelligent. He was very, very, very rich, and he was very respected. And with that capacities that he had, he could have done an incredible job in his lifetime. But instead of focusing on what he could bring to the table, he was focusing on what he didn't have and what someone else had that he wanted to take away from him. He not only destroyed his life, he destroyed the life of his wife, his children, and everybody that rebelled with him. So Hashem told Moshe to put it to the test, and because Moshe tried to talk to him and there was no sense coming into him. So Moshe said, okay, we're gonna offer incense, and whoever's incense is accepted, that's Hashem's decree, and whoever is wrong, then he'll die. And this is what happened. When they offered the pans, Moshe's incense went up and Korach's didn't, and the whole ground opened up and they were swallowed. All these people were swallowed and went into the ground, and they were buried alive. And so from here we learn that a person that feels jealous, that feels envy in his life, that he's so green about what other person has and they don't have, and they're so upset about it, that egocentric feeling will swallow him in life. Like maybe alive, you're living alive, but you're being swallowed because of these feelings. And we find here also that he said to Moshe, for example, and he made fun of Moshe. He says, if the whole garment was made with tehelets is a blue wool, do we need tzitzit? Tzitzit is a four-corner garment that Jewish Orthodox men wear that have the tzitzits hanging from them. And he says, and they're blue. And so he says, if the whole garment is made of tehelets, do we need the tzitzit? So he was not only very haughty, but at the same time he was making fun of the Torah and of the mitzvot, and that was not right. So the whole argument, his whole argument, and what we learn from him is that at the end of the day, everything was made in a way that looked holy. His argument looked holy, but underneath, his whole agenda was not a holy agenda. His agenda was to take Moshe out of his leadership, to take Aaron out of his leadership, and he get and be the king of the world. And this is not what Hashem wanted from him, and this is why he was swallowed. So to go back to envy and jealousy, and this is very important for people to understand, because this doesn't bring anything good, and machlokets in the world, fighting for no holy reason, only brings hardship and pain. Envy is not having what someone else has, and it's aroused when someone else has it. So if you don't see that someone else has it, you're not going to feel the envy. Like if you're walking down the street and you see a lady with these beautiful new shoes, and you look at them and you say, oh wow, I love those shoes, I would love to have those shoes, that's when the envy is aroused. But you're not wanting that person not to have the shoes. You're not thinking, oh, I want to take away those shoes from this woman and put them on my feet. And there's holy envy. Holy envy is when someone is doing something great, and you look at them and you say, oh wow, look at this person, how he lives his life. I would love to live my life like that. And you're empowered to be like that, and you work to be like that. So it's holy. Also, this can be solved by you working on it and getting to that place. Jealousy, on the other hand, is worse, because you're upset that someone else has it and you want it and you want to take it away from them. And this can be solved by you having the same or the other not having it. And the example of envy is like a lady would look at her friend's husband and she would say, oh, I would love to have a husband like that, with those qualities. But she's not saying, I want that husband. Jealousy would be that she would say, I want that husband. So we have to be very careful on how we want things, and we have to really try to make peace in the world, because the whole purpose of us being here is to bring holiness to the world. And holiness comes from a place of peace, of humbleness. When people are humble, they're able to do connections between God and the world and bring unity to the world. But when people are haughty and they're egocentric and they're envious and jealous, what they cause divisiveness and disunity, and this comes from a very unholy place. So the whole story of Korah is to teach us to not be like that, and to be very careful in not being like that and not bringing discord to the world. On the other hand, every time we do something that brings peace, then we are doing what has to be done. Even if we have to give up something that we love for the sake of peace, this will be greatly rewarded. So I want to wish you a good week, a healthy week, and a happy week. And you should always be happy with what you have. You should always be counting your blessings and looking at who you are and what you have and working on yourself, and not looking at others and looking at what other people have that you are missing and you don't have. And this will make you a miserable person and an ungrateful one. So from here we learn this great lesson. So remember, live a little higher. Thank you.